Hello. Well, I've traced out the door that I have here. This is where I'm going to put the door. I have it between these little fastener things that hold these rails here. And I at first was going to cut this one out, but then I remembered this whole door, this whole section of wood that I cut out, I'm going to turn this into the door. So it's going to be, this is essentially 22 inches wide. It's about 5 foot, I don't know, 5'8" high. And that gives 3 inches below these fasteners because I wanted to leave as much strength of this original plywood as possible for the box. I didn't want to weaken it, and any more than 3 inches is too iffy. So what I'm going to do is, as far as building the door out of that material, is like this is a piece that I cut out for the cutaway or the pass-through. And this is essentially, I've confirmed that it's the same thickness as the walls on the box. So on both the hole that I cut in this door, I'm going to angle this U-channel stuff, not this specific one, maybe a little thinner gauge than this. We just happen to have this, and it just happened to fit exactly, or almost exactly, the width of this door, this material, this wood material. So I'm going to have that U-channel go all around the negative opening, and then also all the way around the door opening, and then seal it with butyl tape. And of course it's going to have to be a little bit smaller and have to have enough room to swell and contract. But the problem with the doors that they have available on the internet is that, first of all the ones from America are 6 foot or higher. And that would take me up to this fastener here. And I don't want to cut out any more than like this high. And then, of course, there are a bunch of retailers on Alibaba that have doors of varying dimensions, which that's good, except I've never bought from Alibaba, and I'm a little gun shy about purchasing something that's going to come via freight, and it's going to cost like $400 to ship, and then probably tariffs on top of that. So this has been sort of agonizing for me, this door, but I think this is the way to go. I'm going to, when I have the angle material, I will drill a bunch of pilot holes, and then down at the bottom I will use this vibration saw I have to make a direct cut, a very clean cut there on the bottom. Those vibration saws work very good for that. And then use a jigsaw or saber saw to trace out the rest of it. And then, like I said, as soon as possible, seal the plywood, number one, because it's a plywood material with fiberglass on both sides. But I'll need to seal that up, and then put this aluminum U-channel material on there, and then get the exact dimensions I need to cut the rest of that door to trim this material so the aluminum will be able to fit aluminum against aluminum, and then of course room for a hinge. I haven't decided on which side. I'm leaning on this side for the hinge. That way this will open up, and I'll have a fastener so it stays open. This is from the outside here, this is where it will go, right here. And then I'll probably have my husband build me a little wood step stool thing that I can hang on the inside of the door when it's closed, and then just like latch it on the side of this when I'm at camp. So yeah, let's see, here's the rig. Let me get a better shot of it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I look out at it at night. I wash the dishes. I look at it. I go, wow, look at that. I finally did it. And I gotta tell you, when I first bought it, I was overjoyed the first day, and then that night I started freaking out. Oh my God, you spent all that money, now you're committed. Oh boy, I felt kind of confined. If a genie could have said, okay, you can just undo that. At that moment, I probably would have done it, but I'm glad there wasn't a genie to do that, because I'm looking forward to this project. I'm looking forward to being the person who finishes this job, you know? And so, like I said, this door, get that, once that's in, once it's hooked up, then we'll be removing this roll-up door and then framing in, putting a lip around this whole area here, and then putting a frame for barn doors, open up like that, and then one to go up and down like that. And then once that's done, then the bed, or maybe it may be insulation next, and then the bed, and then the countertop, and the storage underneath. I put a sink and a pump and all that, and I need to start looking at more of those van life meows videos and study those more. Although, like I said before, his videos make me nervous because he does such a great job. This is not going to be as good of a job. But I will tell you, having this door here and having it this far in from this bulkhead means it'll be a little more roomy as I come in here. It won't be all so super confined. Also, it leaves this area, like right here, is going to be where I'm going to be spending most of my time, throwing my baton around, and something I do for fun and fitness and agility. And I'll be watching YouTube and enjoying my morning routine out there in parts unknown. All right, well, probably tomorrow I'm going over to a friend's house, so I won't be doing much on the van then. But maybe Monday I will order the aluminum material, get that all ordered up, and then when it comes, I'll get that from McMaster Car probably. And then when it comes, one of these days, I'm going to have many days off at this point, so I will go ahead and cut this thing out, seal it up, and put in the U-channel, and then work feverishly to get that door finished and hung. And I can worry about weather stripping and backing and all that later, but just getting it hung, getting it, swiveling back and forth, that's the important thing. I'm not going to worry about the lock and the jam right now. It's more important to get this done. All right. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck, by the way.